Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a 18 months of ownership video on my 570 GT. I'm still really loving the car. No intentions to move it on at this point in time. Yes, it's had one or two issues. Nothing that's been a deal breaker for me though. I came into Mclaren ownership in the full knowledge that there would probably be some issues. A couple of them have been a bit annoying, but nothing catastrophic so far. So what I'm going to do is try and break the video down into three sections because there's quite a lot to get through, and go through it in reasonable detail. Some of it may be a little bit repetitive from my previous videos. If someone finding this video for the first time, it will give them a good overall perspective of my experience with the car and everything I've done to it so far. So the first part, we're going to start with servicing and maintenance. So I had a warranty that came with the car, Mclaren warranty, for the first 12 months of ownership. It got used once, but apart from that it didn't get used at all. They offered me to renew it at a cost of, I believe it was about £3,800, and I decided to take a small gamble, and also a calculated gamble to a certain extent, in that I would cover the maintenance costs myself. All the servicing I have now had done has been done by V Engineering. For me, they would be the go-to shop. From my personal experience, they're a relatively small operation, but have pretty much unrivaled experience with the cars, in my opinion. Steve literally knows every nut and bolt, and he's happy to talk to you about it as he works on your car, and just fantastic after sale out of hours service as well. So they've helped me out of minor technical bugs and irritations on more than a couple of occasions, and been happy to sort of like message me and stuff and help me out, which has just been absolutely fantastic. They're always willing to go that extra mile. So for me, brilliant. They are going to be who I'm going to be using for the rest of the time that I own this car. If you want tuning, now I did go to Lichfield initially. To be honest, I didn't have the greatest experience at Lichfield. The work that got done in the end, after a very extended period of them having my car, has been solid. So this car has a stage 2 map on it. It's up to just under 27,000 miles now. It was mapped at just over 14. Had no issues with the map. Suspension setup took a lot to get it right, but it's been fine. So yeah, the work that I had done by them was solid in the end, but I can't unfortunately recommend them from a customer service perspective. Another tuner worth looking into, and if my plans go ahead, I will be visiting again, is RE Performance. Just again, sort of similar operation to V, in that it's a slightly smaller operation, very personable, 100% enthusiast run. Ricky just is absolutely obsessed with getting things right. Extremely genuine guy that comes through straight away when you're talking to him. I've had a couple of small bits of work done by them, but I intend to go back, because I'm actually thinking of having my engine rebuilt, to make more power, obviously, because I'm a bit crazy, but on top of that, to make the engine more bulletproof because of certain issues with this generation of M838T, that I just want to feel more confident in going forward. A few other servicing recommendations. So I get the oil changed every 5k. You don't have to do that, but I do. I've switched over from Mobil 1 to Motul. I use Motul 8100 power, 5W40. It's a tiny bit more expensive than Mobil. I tried it on recommendation from Ricky at RE Performance, and Steve at V seemed to think the engine sounds smoother running on it. So I'm using that. Oil is the component that a lot of people forget about. It's incredibly important in an engine like this, a high performance engine, to make sure it doesn't do itself any damage. So for the sake of 100 quid's worth of oil and 120 quid to get the oil changed, for a £48,000 engine, I'd rather just be safe than sorry. I check my oil every 500-600 miles. The car doesn't drink that much. I think you'll find it drinks a lot more if you track the car regularly. Mine doesn't get tracked, obviously, it's a road car. No, it's not particularly thirsty. So I just keep a 1 litre bottle of oil around and check it fairly regularly. Another tip, check your battery fob regularly. I change the battery roughly every 4 to 5 months, maybe every 6 months. I make sure I put quality battery in there, even if I'm paying sort of tax for the brand, so Duracell or an Energizer or something like that. And since I've been doing that, I haven't had any problems with key detection, which I know a lot of people have. So yeah, according to Steve, it has quite a power hungry, old-fashioned radio frequency based key detection system that eats up the amps, so it's just easier spending, you know, a quid on a battery every 4 months and just changing it out, and then you won't have any problems. Another tip, keep an eye on your tracking. My current set of Cup 2s were on about, what would they have been on, about 11k, and I had wear on the inside edge of one of them. Likelihood is that it got knocked out in a pothole and it's worn excessively. It happened within sort of like a 4,000 mile window. So I kind of get the car checked before and at the end of every what I call driving season, so sort of spring and then autumn. I got it checked in the spring with a once over, there were no issues, and then when I took the car in for its autumn inspection, there was a severe level of wear that meant the tyre needed replacing. So just keep an eye on your tracking, guys. So issues, moving on to issues. What issues have I had with the car? Well, it's thrown a few little weird electrical issues. Ones that can be fixed simply by switching it off and on again. But then it's had some sort of proper issues that I would say. So the main first issue was door lock failure. So the door locks mechanisms failed, or one of them failed. I don't know which one it was because I was never told. That happened inside inside the factory warranty. The effect that had is that it set the alarm off continually, and it meant that I couldn't get in or out of the car. So the car was towed by Mclaren Assist. It went to Mclaren Hatfield, and they repaired it very promptly. So no complaints about Mclaren Hatfield. Literally done within a week. They also upgraded my door locks to the soft close ones, which are really, really nice. So you don't have to slam the door, and that helps with the dodgy hinge issue if you don't know about it. So some of the sports series have weak door hinges, and if you're not clunking the door closed hard, then obviously that's only going to help with that. But it just means that you can leave the door to sort of like slide shut by itself, and it'll lock itself up. That's been fine since. The other main issue has been battery failure. So quite recently, about 2 months ago, my battery went completely pop. I won't go into the whole story, but it failed completely. It had thrown a wobbly previously. There are lots of issues around the OEM battery as far as I'm concerned. Not so much the cells. but the control module within it that then talks to the ECU in the car is a complete pain, and it makes up all sorts of stories that cause all sorts of issues when it tells porky pies to the car's ECU basically. So I decided to go for an aftermarket battery. I have gone for an anti-gravity battery, which is actually a bit lighter than the OEM one. It's actually 1.5 kilos lighter, has slightly higher capacity, and it has a very, very clever built-in fail-safe mechanism whereby it never lets itself get discharged to any great degree. It shuts itself into sleep mode well before it's discharged and leaves itself with plenty of power to start your car. So if you've left your car for an extended period and it's fallen in sleep mode, there's a key fob that comes with the battery. You press that button, it wakes the battery back up, and then it's got plenty of power to start your car. That option with a car that is so electrically dependent, like the Mclaren here, with very few mechanical options for getting into the car, if it goes wrong, is a lifesaver as far as I'm concerned. The other problem I have got is I've got some corrosion, which again is fairly well known on the aluminium body shell for some reason. Multiple different theories as to why this happens. I still don't fully understand why they can't paint the body shell that doesn't corrode myself, but there you go. So the only area I've got it on is the driver's side door. Down at the lower edge, where the sill is, there's a reasonable sized patch. I am going to be getting that sorted out hopefully this winter. It's probably going to cost me about £800 to get it sorted out. You need to go to a Mclaren certified body shop no matter how hard you try. The one thing that Mclaren keeps secret more than anything else is their paint codes. So you can't scan the paint, you can't do anything to find out what the colour is in order to mix it correctly. You have to go to a certified body shop. So I'll be getting that done hopefully this winter. Okay, so finally let's go through my modifications really quickly, as quickly as I can, because obviously I have talked about these before. And I'll take the camera off and we'll go through them from tip to butt. Okie dokie. So at the front here, we've got obviously my 4-dot number plate. Really happy with that. We've got my custom radiator grille covers, which have been fab. Really happy with those. One's taken quite a big hit there and saved the radiator from a stone. So as far as I'm concerned, that's done its job. I've got a carbon fibre nose badge, which I added. That wasn't there originally. As the rest of the car's got all the carbon options, I figured that it would just match the rest of the car. The whole of the car pretty much has got tie hardware or aluminium hardware replacing the standard steel stuff, partly from, well, mainly from a corrosion resistance issue, fixing that, but also goes with the lightweight ethos of the car, and I'm also slightly crazy like that. So down the side here we also have Acer Racing titanium wheel bolts, and we also have my Cerakoted disc bells with tie hardware on those two, which look so much nicer than the stock items. Steering wheel. Steering wheel is custom trimmed by Royal Steering Wheels. The original one was Alcantara all over. Didn't like that because don't like Alcantara on your fingers. It just gets grubby so quick. So I had it retrimmed with leather at 3 and 9, and then yellow stitching and 12 o'clock notch to match my seat belts and things. I also have my custom phone holder that's fully motorised, and also has wireless charging. That's wired into the car. Really happy with that. Built the bracket myself from scratch. Tyres, running Cup 2s. I've changed to 235s on the front. Happy with those so far. They also look real nice because they bulge out a bit more into the wheel arches. Also, before I forget, we've also got KW springs Probably can't see them in there, but the height adjustable KW springs, along with shims, all geoed and set up by Litchfield. Coming around the back, we have my own little custom bit of vinyl work here. Quite happy with that, with the 3D badge. In here you can see the exhaust system, that's not stock, so I've got Larini all the way through. So I've got Larini Sports Cats and then Larini GT1 system, all with modified brackets and Thai hardware, just to be super posh. Also got my custom exhaust tips here. They're full titanium. They save you 2.5 kilos off the back of the car. Some people like these, some people don't. I like them, obviously. They're made by Fab Speed, but then I modified them and coated them myself with the Mclaren logo. The car has aftermarket air filters. They're dry media filters, available from Alias 23. Obviously you can't see them, but they are hidden in the wheel arches there. Yeah, dry media filters stop oil transmission into the turbo system, and then on top of that you can reuse them. They're a couple of £100, so similar price to the OEM ones, but they last forever. So sensible upgrade as far as I'm concerned. All the arch liners have full aluminium hardware. There's about 40 bolts for you, those geeks out there, in each arch liner. That's a lot of bolts, and they're all aluminium now, so a bit of a weight saving there. And finally, the car has a stage 2 map from Litchfield. Produces about 650 to 670 horsepower. Similar to a 675 basically, because it is essentially the same engine that's in a 675. It's been reliable. It's the map's been on there since just after 14k. The car's now done nearly 27k. No issues with it, touch wood. Next week it'll probably blow up, obviously. But I am looking to go and get some nicer pistons and rods put in it at some point by Ricky at RE Performance. Excuse me. So overall, 18 months ownership. A few annoying things happened, obviously, what with the door lock failure and the battery failure. The car's a 17 plate, so the battery is, you know, well over 6 years old. Excuse me again. I know lithiums normally last a bit longer, but you could argue, you know, that it was getting towards the end of its life, and it was really, I think, the battery control unit that failed rather than the cells themselves. So again, another reason why I don't like the OEM batteries. So we'll be keeping the car, we'll be doing more modding. There'll be some more cosmetic stuff happening hopefully this year, and of course I'll keep you guys updated. Any questions, comment below. Quite a long video, but there was quite a lot to talk about. I'll see you guys again soon.